people. It been a lot of people.
Yeah, we have to remember that's a huge factor.
That's a huge factor. That's why this is honestly possible. Like if that didn't happen, honestly, it wouldn't, because people, they're home. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, if you want to talk about the incident, this is no different than Eric Garner. Like you think you learned your lesson, but like there was still multiple cases after that, but not like the same fucking thing. I can't breathe, and then that didn't stick in. So I was more pissed that people didn't step in to stop. But what can you do when you're trying to stop someone with a gun?
Exactly.
Light your ass up, and then that's it. And then you're part of the news. Then 2 people died and whatnot. Oh, civilian tried to attack an officer and blah, blah. And they pull up the worst record you could possibly have, but it doesn't exist because you're a good citizen. Like they tried to do with George. They came for his life. They took his life. And for what purpose? What was it? For a fucking, a fake $20 bill? Are you fucking kidding me? That's what we're doing right now. We took him down like as if he was a terrorist.
Yeah.
That was the response. Took this dude out of his car and then just had him on the ground. Like, why did you take him out of the vehicle to put him down on the ground?
Yeah, that makes no sense. Like even if he was
in the vehicle, in the police car already. You took him out of the police vehicle just to put him on the ground? Wow. Okay.
He was probably saying some shit or whatever.
Even so, you going to the precinct.
That's what I'm saying. There's no way you should even end up getting him out. Or if he tried getting out, there's still no way.
Honestly, I'm glad they did it there. You know why? Because imagine if they didn't do it there. They were so fucking bold that they said, I'm going to do it in front of people. So what happened? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like they could have clearly have done this somewhere else in a isolated area and done that, and then no one would have been able to record it. Yeah. But because did they not think people were gonna see that? What was the point of that? Why would you? What were you trying to show people like, yeah, this is my power. Don't do this and whatnot, or this could be you too. Really? But it was because the world saw yet again, and then you have some people say all lives matter. See, that's what I just. As much as I wanna say what I really want to say, it's just the factor that some people are very ignorant on their history. I saw a recent video of a young girl explain to her parents that their racial beliefs were wrong, and she was arguing with her parents back and forth, and she was just bringing up facts, and then they were just saying that they're animals, they kill each other, they do this and blah blah, and it's like, you're referring to black people as animals and this, that, and the third, like that. You think, oh, it's 2020, people would move on and upgrade in their lives, but yet there's still people out there by the lump sum still having this issue. We have protesters going through, which is great. We're talking big numbers. There are towns that are pushing that away. I don't want that in my town. I don't want my kids seeing that. Thus, there lies the problem on why people are repeating history all over again, because you're trying to shelter them from what reality is. You're sheltering your children to what racism is. Thus, they don't know what that is, and they're continuing to perpetuate this ignorance over and over and over again. So, yeah, shelter your kids from what racism is, and let's not make the change that needs to be, because you're comfortable. You don't want the change. It doesn't affect you. It has nothing to do with me. All lives matter. That's how I feel on the subject when people say all lives matter. It's like you're disregarding the factor that this is not about you.
Yeah, can you break that down to somebody that doesn't? Because there's probably someone listening to this that is saying that their all lives matter or whatever.
Like,
but they just sometimes they're just so completely off and they don't get it. What would you tell them?
I saw an image. I'll break it down longer, and I'll do the short one first. So, in short, when people say all lives matter, it's equivalent to someone is hurt on the ground, and someone goes to them and they attend to them like, oh, my leg hurts, and then the person that's helping them says to another person, that a bystander coming by, and say, please help, and then they say, what about my leg? What What we're talking about his leg right now. We're not talking about your leg. We're talking about his leg. No, but my leg too. You're not coming to my leg. What's wrong with your leg?
Exactly.
You're not on the ground. So what brings the long version is when you say things like, okay, all lives matter, which is equivalent to that one bad cop. That one good cop. There's a couple of good cops, and there might be a few bad cops, but there's that a few good cops too and whatnot. So then by that logic, that means those good cops should stop the bad cops from doing bad things. Because if they're not doing that, that means you're all bad cops. Because you fear for your life. And I understand why they don't interfere, because they know police officers are bad. Not all of them are bad. Yeah, I get that. But like, imagine you being that one good cop, that whistleblower. What happens to whistleblowers in the police department? You get blackballed or you end up dead. Mysteriously. That's what happens.
Yeah.
They don't want to talk about that. It's like, no, they try to not see it, and they have this blindfolds and whatnot, this tunnel vision, like, oh, I don't see anything or whatnot, but I'm a good cop. But you're a bad cop for not interfering.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter what your accolades are. It doesn't matter what you've done in the past. If you don't stop it, you're a bad person. It's not even what a police title that you have. You're just a bad person for not stopping it. And people who were recording this, y'all also in that too. Y'all need to stop it. You record, there's one person needs to record, jump in there and do it. Do something about it. Die saving someone's life. Do what you need to do. Versus hearing on the news. Imagine 20 people, 30 people jump at cops to stop them from hurting people. I've seen videos like that before, preventing them from hurting another individual. They're not going to shoot everybody because that's going to look really bad. But if we unify and prevent that, like we do in the protest right now, stand in front of your fellow brethren, your citizens, your neighbors and whatnot, they're not going to shoot everybody. Because how you going to justify that? You shot everybody because of what?
Yeah. That's
not gonna roll over. Then you have to answer to all their families. What you gonna do then? And if you do that, and if you did light other people's families up, you next. They're coming after you. That means you don't care for the citizen. You're supposed to protect and serve. Who you serving? That's the question. Yourself? If you're afraid, you shouldn't be holding a gun. And if you have a trigger finger and you have anger issues, you shouldn't be holding a gun. You need to have more control over if you're afraid when you do a car stop, you're in the wrong position. You have to have nerves of steel. I understand it's a difficult job. If you can't do it, don't do it, because that fucking one little happy trigger finger is going to end somebody's life. And then what? There's no going back. There's no oops. You can't fucking bring somebody back from the dead. That's not what we could do. If that was a thing, then there wouldn't be no issues, but there still be an issue because you're lighting people up. For what? For what?
Yep. And that's the issue right there, and that's why it goes back to that all lives matter, is that obviously you don't feel that all lives matter.
Clearly.
Because if you did, you would have more caution. You know what I'm saying? If you did, you wouldn't be so scared, or you wouldn't have it's a cross between scared and how you view the person. It's a cross between those two. Some people maybe have one more than the other. It's how you view them. You view them as in that they're not as valuable as a human being than you are, or you're just scared. And either one, those are both absolutely wrong. So it's like, that's why I say, okay, all lives cannot matter. It can't be true if you're acting that way.
Also, I love to bring up the point that before that event happened with George, we had people protesting with fucking ARs and someone walked in to a Dunkin', I think, with a fucking rocket launcher. And we're pinning down a dude with a fucking forged $20 bill? Okay. All right. That makes so much sense. Just yelling at people's face with weapons on you. Not a problem. Not a problem.
There was 4 of them and 1 of him, and he had no weapon.
No weapon whatsoever. What was he gonna do? How strong do us black men appear to people? How strong are we? Superhuman? We need X amount of people on our bodies just to pin us down.
And then for 8 minutes, and I think it was 43 seconds or something like that. So for 8 minutes and 40 something seconds, you just have to sit there when you see he's just laid the fuck out. And it's like, that's when I start believing in, like, that's when I start going like faith and shit. And I'm like, all right, that had to happen for a reason. Like,
you took him out the car just to have him knee to the neck for about 8 minutes and 43 seconds. Really? That was necessary. So him being in the car and taking him to the precinct, and that was gonna be an issue.
I don't even think that dude. I think that cop is so fucked up in the head that I think that he had his fucking knee on that guy's fucking neck because the people with the phones. I think he was one of those dicks that was just like, oh, okay, y'all want to record? I'm just gonna stay here.
And he was talking to him, oh, that's what happens when you do drugs. That's what happens, blah, blah. And like he was justifying what he was doing. Like, this is what happened. I'm going to use this human being as an example to not do this and not do that. I'm like, what are you doing? This is a human being. This is not a toy. This was a human being. And you kneeled on his neck.
And it goes back all the time to my conversation of of people just judging people. Like, yo, everybody fucking sins. Everybody does some fucked up shit. Like, I guarantee he's done so many fucked up things in his life. So it's like, how are you judging this person? Like, beyond the fucking, like, how are you judging this man? Like, you're judging this man, okay, because he was a fucking quote unquote criminal because of the $20 bill. Like, bro, who are you to fucking judge?
And you don't have the authority to do that.
you don't.
Like, think about it. It's like,
do your job and that's it.
Like, honestly, really, like, there's counterfeit before. Like, that's not like a big deal. We've all like, oh, you got one. All right. So do you have a real $20 bill? All right, let's solve this problem and then call it a day. All right. But we need fucking a whole team of people because you're fucking bored. This is the hottest shit that's happened to you was a counterfeit 20. Oh, let's get up on him. Yeah. To get your fucking fix on, really, and then guess what? This is what happens.
Yo, I feel like they get off on that shit. Like anytime I've been pulled over.